Hi Capricorn, this is your reading for February 2019. Thanks for joining. Please set aside anything you're doing so you're not multitasking, and all of your presence is here with me for your reading. Settle into a relaxed, comfortable posture and focus on your breathing for a few moments. Each time you exhale, imagine any anxiety or tension that you might be feeling in your body being released. And while I'm shuffling, please take a moment here to check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to reach out to me, to my higher self and my guides, so that we can create a feedback loop of information to get you really relevant and clear messages that are especially tailored for you. Okay, Capricorn, let's get started, shall we? The first card that really jumps out at me in your reading is this Tower card, which you have here in the position of the crowning card of the reading, which is what you know. So it would seem as though there has been, or could be potentially at some time during this month, some kind of unexpected and sudden change of events that could have an impact on your life in a way that would be kind of dramatic. It could suggest that there is perhaps a pending need for you to create some changes in your life that has been kind of underlying for some time, and perhaps you've been ignoring that message. And so this is a moment where potentially the universe is taking action to help bring you back into alignment in a way that could be a little bit shocking, but potentially is well needed and will help reorient the course of your life in a way to help you bring things back into an alignment if you've kind of been veering off course for some time, and you may need some kind of external event to kind of catalyze you into a shift of direction if you're not taking yourself in the way that you know you should be taking yourself. So that's the crowning card of your reading for this month. So it seems a little dramatic, and it seems like it's kind of interesting to see it there in the position of the crowning card, because it's kind of like letting you know that it's coming. So for some of you, if you haven't necessarily experienced this event yet, this is the universe's way of providing you with a little bit of insight to let you know that something could be coming, so that you could perhaps be a little bit prepared for it. At the heart of the reading, you have the Magician in reverse, and it's crossed by the Ten of Pentacles. I feel that there is something here about there could be some like unhappiness at home, I would say, or some kind of like either okay, there's different messages here. For some of you, it's indicating here that you may not be happy at home, and the Magician there in reverse is suggesting that you kind of are, perhaps you want to put energy into other things, but there is this feeling here with the Ten of Cards, the Ten of Pentacles being the crossing card, that there's this really strong feeling like your obligations to family and people who depend on you is really high, and that is making me feel like this the energy of the Magician in reverse is actually you putting energy into things that you may not actually want to be putting energy into, but you actually feel obligated. It's a little bit of an awkward feeling, and that could be actually confirmed here by this Six of Cups at the foundation of the reading. This is in the position of your unconscious mind, which is what you don't know. So this central axis of the reading is kind of giving me a lot of information or feeling for family and partnership. And seeing the Six of Cups there in the foundation in reverse, it's kind of suggesting to me that if you are in a partnership right now and you're not feeling very nurtured by it and it doesn't feel very satisfying or holistic or reciprocal, there is this feeling here, like, being that this is in reverse at the foundation, that nobody knows that. Only you know that, and you're keeping your dissatisfaction very close to your chest. And that could be what this Tower card is about here, is that, like, if you are not being outwardly upfront about all the things you're feeling that are not making you feel like you're in alignment, like if your dissatisfaction in your relationships, in your obligations, is making you feel like you're obligated to put energy into responsibilities that you don't feel like you want to actually be taking on, then this Tower card, because I feel like for some of you that could have been a theme that's been going on for quite some time. And if that's the case, and you've been kind of outwardly, pleasant and pleasing everyone, overly pleasing everyone, and trying to satisfy everyone, and trying to make sure everyone's happy, and nobody knows that you're actually unhappy, that you don't necessarily have the energy to put into these things that are expected by and needed by others, you could find yourself having a Tower moment during this time where specifically your energy is going to get realigned in a way that will potentially be shocking to you. Because I feel like if that's what's been going on, and you're in this position, you're in this Eight of Swords position where you're bound and you feel obligated to people's needs and wants, and they actually don't know that you're not happy to be pleasing them, then some type of shocking thing could happen this month, which will actually cause you to, or almost force you to reevaluate your life and start to be more honest. I feel like that's what these two cards here in the position of the outcome. There's this Eight of Swords and the Knight of Swords, both upright. As I said, I feel like you've been in this position here where you've been bound by responsibilities, and you haven't necessarily been openly honest or upfront with people who have been placing heavy expectations and obligations on you. And you actually, from what it says here, it's not really making you happy in any way to do this, other than to feel like, you're pleasing people so they're happy with you. But actually, the energy is kind of twisted up and mixed up. So there could be this, with these two swords here in the outcome position. I'll come back around to that, but just want to say here that there could be some kind of, again, tied to this Tower card moment, there could be some kind of experience here where information is suddenly brought to light in a way that you may not have necessarily wanted it to happen, but there's this, it's almost like the universe is forcing your hand, because fundamentally the energy that you are sustaining is a dichotomy that has to be resolved. And the universe is always going to help you get what you want, right? The universe is always going to help you get what you want. So let's see what else is here in the reading. I didn't mention here, but there's also this Five of Swords here in the reverse in the outcome position. So I feel like that's tied to these other Swords cards here, where I was saying that information could be forced out in a way that was not, like, maybe you're not ready for. You may be in a position, because of this Tower card here, to have to say things that you have been holding back, that you haven't wanted to say. And that's what this Five of Swords says to me. I think you've been holding back on a lot of communication for many reasons, mostly because you're trying to please people and make sure everyone else is happy and satisfied, and their quality of life is as good as you can help them to make it. But if you're fundamentally unhappy, and that's kind of confirmed here with these other cards at the bottom of the reading, then yeah, sure, universe is going to help you come back into alignment. So what we have down here is Ace of Wands in reverse with Eight of Pentacles upright, and then Queen of Pentacles reversed with the Three of Wands upright. So I feel that what's here is, on the work front, there's definitely like a pending need here for you to change your style of work, change your work in general. Both of these are kind of saying that there's a kind of dissatisfaction in your work and a desire to start something fresh, or with this Ace of Wands in reverse here, with this Eight of Pentacles upright, it's not that you want to start something fresh, but it's that you want to focus on the things that are important to you, right? And it's almost like you need to go back to something. It's more like going back to something rather than starting new, because that it's always been there. That's what I feel. The Ace of Wands in the reverse is saying that there is something that you've been passionate about for a long time that you may not have been able to give it as much attention and haven't been able to progress as much with it as you've wanted to, probably because you're spending so much time taking on responsibilities that other people are demanding of you and expecting of you. So this passion that you have been quietly and steadily working on, people may not necessarily understand how serious you are about this thing, because you don't necessarily externally prioritize it. Of course you prioritize it. It's very important to you. You're very passionate about it. But it would seem as though other people may not understand actually just how much you really, really need to do this thing. And I feel like that's what a lot of this Swords is here saying, is that you need to be a lot more expressive and communicative about what is important to you and what your priorities are, and start to kind of find ways to extract yourself from responsibilities that you've taken on that are actually not interesting to you at all and are feeling like a burden. Because it's fundamentally affecting your relationships. That's why you have these two cards here, right? These are both kind of family and marriage cards. And they're both kind of saying to me that, you know, your emotional state is heavily affected by your need to help others and please others, but also your expectation, the expectation of others of you to carry that role. And the truth is, actually, the only reason that people expect and demand of you is because you've been so, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but it's like there's just like there's a pattern of continuation where you have been that person for so long, and they don't know that you don't like it because you've never told them. So I think this is there's a time this month where some things will come out into the open, and there'll be a lot more clarification about exactly where you are and where they are. Where are you in relation to your community, your family, your lover, your friends, your work environment? I feel like there's a real urgent need for an explosion of honesty. So, but yeah, what I was saying here is that there's this pressure on your relationships that is unknown. Like the people that you're relating to, especially with regards to what I'm describing here, they are unaware of how uncomfortable you are. They really don't know. And this Queen of Pentacles here in reverse with the Three of Wands upright, this is saying to me that you're aware that, like, seeing the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse says to me that you're aware that you cannot continue on the way you're going. Like your satisfaction needs to be first and foremost, and you feeling empowered in your I'm hearing aesthetic, but feeling empowered in your endeavors, in your practices, in your daily routines, in your presentations, like what it is you actually present as far as like work that you complete, but your presentation as a human, like I'm not just talking about your physical style or anything, but more about like how you actually embody a specific frequency that needs to be more cultivated, so that it's very embodied, and that you feel like you are actually empowered and in the physical realm with your skills and your talents and your expression. And seeing it here with the Three of Wands is saying that you are actually like seeing that at this time it's really important for you to actually craft a vision and set goals for yourself and start to work towards them, because there is a really specific energy going on at the moment that everyone's tapping into, where many people are currently designing their lives for the next 10 or 20 years. And what the things that we do in these months, like in these first 3 or 4 months of 2019, are really establishing our personal future for each of us. So I think it's really important that you take that with seriousness and start to use the energy of your visionary qualities to actually start to put in place things that you wish to see manifest, and start to actually design them and set in place protocols to help you work towards those things. And if that means learning how to say no, no. Now, here in the position of the recent past, coming into this reading, you have this Seven of Cups here. And in the outcome, you have the Five of Swords in reverse. So, as I said, I felt like this Five of Swords is connected to these other cards here at the crowning position of the reading, where I feel that you have been withholding communication, and there could be a moment at this time during this month where some type of sudden, unexpected event forces you to actually express truth in a way that may be shocking to you and to others, but is well needed. And I feel like the Seven of Cups here is connected to this in a way where, like, you're coming into the reading, and I feel like this is a very private card. Like, this card is saying to me that you have been pondering and considering and reevaluating and even envisioning, you know, for some time. But that's been a very hidden and private matter, and other people are not aware of what your visions and goals and dreams are for yourself. And I feel like this Magician card in the reverse position is just, it's really driving home the point that you are a very powerful creator. But you having put other people's needs and expectations ahead of yours, and in kind of being in service to other people's dreams and visions, your unhappiness has been kind of developing in a way that is making you kind of, there is this element of self-sabotage, of course, with this Eight of Swords in reverse. But the Magician as well, it's a kind of self-sabotage, because you're putting energy into things that aren't really serving you, and so eventually that's gonna come back on you. Like, that doesn't just, that kind of misalignment or mistruth doesn't just fall by the wayside. It grows, and it will eventually emerge somehow. So the only thing I haven't talked about so far as these cards go is this quadrant here of the hopes and fears. So you have the King of Cups in the upright with the Hermit in reverse. So I feel here that this is kind of, to me, indicating that you have a fear of expressing your emotions. So you're kind of holding it back. Which is basically what a lot of this reading is. It's like kind of wanting to always maintain a certain kind of disposition that allows other people to feel comfortable and happy in your presence, because they feel like their well-being is in your higher regard. It's part of your agenda, is to take care of other people's well-being. But I think you're starting to see that your emotional well-being is nothing to compromise on. It's nothing trifling. It's very, very important. So I think that there is a moment where you will come to see that soon. And if you don't do it of your own regard, as I said, the universe will kind of force your hand with this Tower experience moment, where some type of shocking, unexpected event shows up in your world in such a way to kind of catalyze energy and bring about open and honest communication that you've been withholding. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Page of Swords reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, Three of Pentacles upright, and Nine of Wands reversed. And then there's the Fool here. I'm going to take him because I like that. Now, again, another Swords energy coming into the reading. I feel like this Page of Swords here with the Page of Swords in reverse with the Queen of Wands in reverse. I feel like that's a tie-in to what I just said there about an unexpected event catalyzing you into a type of communication which you may not have been ready for, but is long overdue. I feel that that's what these two cards are here. I feel like these could be people, but I feel like this page is more describing this kind of, like the Knight and the Page of Swords here in the reading, I feel are just describing communication that is unexpected or unprepared or sudden, brash and honest without preparation. And the Queen of Wands here could be you, it could be a person that's involved somehow in this situation where there is a catalyzation. There is some kind, and it's related to either this Queen of Wands person, could be this King of Cups, although I feel that's describing more your emotional state, your emotional well-being. But there is definitely a feeling here of something around a sudden turn of events that was unexpected, that is catalyzing you into communication that you've been withholding. and some kind of event that's forcing your hand into opening up in ways that you may not be feeling prepared for, but that's actually long overdue. And this is a very blessed energy. It's a very beneficial energy, even though I know, I can tell you right now, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it, but you need this. You really need this. And then the Three of Pentacles here with the Knight of Wands. I feel like this is a tie-in to this Eight of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. I feel like there's something here about, you know how I was saying earlier, like you've been passionate for a very, very long time about something, but other people may not know about it because you kind of, even though you think you're being very expressive and very obvious about it, but actually people don't really know how serious you are about this thing. So this is, I feel like, this is maybe a kind of happy kind of solution coming through here, where there is this energy of like being able to kind of see, you've got this Ace of Wands in reverse. Here you've got the Knight of Wands upright, and he's holding that ace, right? So I feel like there is some kind of happy outcome here where there is a bit of resolution and you actually get to kind of take that wand and run with it. And there's this Three of Pentacles here as well to kind of give you that sense of like, yes, work, play here, work, play. I feel like there's an element here where you're going to get to express yourself in a way that you've been wanting to for a long time, potentially with others. You know, the Three of Pentacles can be a card about collaboration. But most importantly, I'm happy to see this Knight of Wands in the upright position with this Ace of Wands in his hands moving forward. This is you. I feel this is you. And then the Fool here as the final kind of summary. I'm very, very happy to see this card in your spread, I must say. It does say to me that I feel like, as I've expressed a couple of times already, I feel like you're not going to necessarily love this. You're not going to love this moment. But I think you're going to do really well with it. This Fool in the upright card in position says to me that you're going to be able to catalyze and transmute all of this energy, and actually, like, it's almost like you're kind of like, let's say, touch wood, and I don't bless this, I don't hope this on anyone, but let's say the Tower moment is an accident, right? Of some kind. It's almost like you go flying through the air and you end up just landing on your feet. It's just a visual I had just now, but it's more about you being able to take all of the energy that you're experiencing, and without squirmishing away from it or trying to dodge it in any way or avoid any of it, you just stand in it all while it's all going on, and you just clearly do the best you can to express and what's the word? Channel the energy through you, and make sure everything goes in the right place and the responsibility gets landed in the right place, and everything gets kind of inventoried in the right way, completely and wholly. And then you come through that with a very clarified energy field, like your vortex will become extremely amplified because you've kind of finally, after probably half of your life, carrying on with this type of energy of pleasing other people and taking on responsibilities that aren't yours, you'll be able to come through and feel clarity and feel trust again and feel like you've actually resolved something that you've been carrying for a really long fucking time, without any baggage, without any resentment, without any leftover residual anger or defensiveness or anything. I feel like there's a real clarification here coming through with the Fool card, and it gives me a lot of hope and trust that you will actually know very well how to handle this situation. In fact, as I've said, even though I don't think you're going to love it, quietly, I feel like you're actually you really need this, you want this, and you're praying for it. You're hoping for it. You're calling it in. You are calling it in. Simply the fact that this Tower card here is in the crowning position of this reading, it's clearly saying to me that you are facilitating some kind of dramatic event as a way of kind of having a clean sweep of the past so you can get to this moment where the past doesn't exist and the future is yours. All right. Big energy, Capricorn. This is big energy here. This is not trifling. I feel that that's it for the general reading. Oh, that's nice. I see the Star card here at the top of the deck. Again, this is giving me the feeling of like there is a real intensely clarifying, purifying energy at play here with you. I feel the influence of Uranus through this card. Uranus is also the ruling card of the Tower, so there's definitely a big Uranus energy here, and Uranus rules sudden, unexpected change, innovation, rebelliousness, revolution. So this is basically you kind of having your own little mini personal revolution. Like, really, like a massive turnover of energy to kind of come to a new place. Fool. Okay? I love this reading, actually. So yeah, the star card here is bringing the element of, yeah, purification, clarification, healing, resolution. It feels to me very much like there is like messages. What's standing out to me in this card right now is this bird. I don't know if you can see that. This pink bird here. I feel like it's connected to this sword. Like I've been speaking a few times about these swords cards and communication. I feel like there's some messages coming. Either you will receive information that will cause a catalyzation, or you will be the one to deliver information that is causing a catalyzation. Either way, it's a good thing. Don't hold back. Really, really, don't hold back. You really need to just like get some stuff off your chest. You've been holding on to it for far too long. So yeah, purification, cleansing. I feel like there's a big karmic resolve here. There's something, I think if you really come through this transition and actually clarify with honest, clear communication, you have the chance here to really shift your energy field in a way that changes the way people deal with you and approach you and work with you. But you have to be bold enough to actually embody that frequency and not fall back into old habits of ways of being and dealing with people or letting people deal with you. It's about what you allow. I'll say that. It's about what you allow. In order for you to establish yourself on the grid in a specific way, as in this Queen of Pentacles, the right side up. It's about what you allow, the way you allow people to speak to you, the way you allow people's energy to kind of, it's manipulative in a way. That's what this Magician card is, I feel. It's like you've been allowing people to manipulate you, to get what they want out of you, to use your energy for their ends, for their means. No, no more. Enough. Let yourself be empowered by this situation and really run with it. When it comes in, just embody it, go with it, say what you need to say, and just be a new person. Be a new person through it. And people will treat you differently if you establish yourself with a new set of established criteria of who you are and what you can and can't tolerate. And people will have to respect that if you respect yourself enough to embody it and really ground it in. So let's take the Voyager deck now and have a look at your higher octave spread. This is going to give us a little bit more insight into what's happening on a higher octave level, what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level, to help us understand a little bit more about what lessons are available, what opportunities are available, and how best to work with the energies to make the most out of the situation that you're in. So while I'm shuffling, please blast the deck with your energy so I can get messages really clearly for you. Empress, upright. Nice. Crossed by the Woman of Wands. Woman of Cups in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse. The Strength in reverse. Child of Crystals. Hanged Man reversed. Sage of Worlds reversed. Man of Crystals. Nine of Worlds. Magician upright. Awesome. Death. Emperor reversed. And Four of Worlds. Okay, interesting. Let's have a look here. It does, this central axis here through the reading does feel reminiscent of the previous spread, but kind of with the essence of the star card in there, in that there is a sense of a necessary purification, one that you've been aware of for some time, but that you have been kind of avoiding, let's say. There's been an avoiding energy here. You've kind of just been letting things carry on in the same way that they have been for quite some time, even though it's been very unsatisfying for you and very the source of a lot of discomfort and perhaps even unhappiness. That's what this Queen of Cups here in the crowning position is saying. She's in reverse. And the Queen of Cups in this deck is called Rejoicer. So I feel that fundamentally it's been a fairly unhappy time in a lot of, I'm sure certainly you've had like happy and fun moments, but overall, like, your energy feels a little bit dampened and a little bit like, well, yeah, you know, like, your energy's been kind of, as I said earlier, in a way manipulated by other people to get what they need from you. So there's an element there, like a kind of low-level exhaustion for some time, like it's been going on for some time. Now, at the heart of the reading, you have the Empress upright, crossed by the Woman of Worlds. I really like this. There's a very strong element here in the reading of very powerful divine feminine energy. And I feel that this is a moment where, I mean, the Empress specifically for me is about like the physical embodiment of divine feminine energy. And the Empress in the physical realm has great mastery over the elements, over all of the elements. You know, she understands how to create and make and be and do in the physical realm. And she has a very the qualities of her are very creative, very intuitive, very empathic, very sensitive, but very strong also, very creative, very fertile, very fantastic, I'm hearing. Extraordinary, but very grounded, right? She's very connected to celestial energy, but in a very grounded way on the earth. And then this crossing card being the Woman of Wands, it's called Censor in this deck. So what this says to me is that at this time, you are very aware that you have a specific energy that you need to, how should I put that? Like you've been opening to the awareness of the capacity that you have, right, over the last few years, let's say. Like, you've been quietly and persistently developing your intuition and your empathic qualities. You've been quietly and consistently working on your creativity and channeling your energy into the world in ways that have been kind of hidden. Like I was saying in the previous reading, it's like people aren't really aware because you've been kind of quiet and secretive in a way. Even if you've been very open and upfront, according to you, about what you've been pursuing, most people are not aware because you haven't perhaps been loud enough about it. And a lot of that is definitely like your humility and your kind of like your temperance. What's the word? No, not temperance. Your personality is a little bit more discreet, let's say, and humble about what you've been doing. You're not necessarily loud and braggadocious about your endeavors. But I think that there is a moment where I think it feels like it's important for you to realize that there needs to be a little bit more volume. There needs to be a little bit more volume about what you're doing, or even if it's not about like being vocal. I think energetically you need to be give it more volume in the way that makes people understand that your practices, your spiritual practice, your artistic practice, your healing practice is more important to you than other people needing you for their minor trifling tasks of whatever they think is important. So, yeah, because I mean, this Empress card here at the center of the reading, upright position, says to me very well that I think you if you're not already, you're starting to become aware that the specific frequency of your entity is very important to stand alone as it is. And express and emit light in a specific way without any impediments from other people's things, stuff, whatever, you know? I don't know if I explained that very well, but it was clear to me when I saw the image of it. It's like simply that, like you as a channel of light needs to create a space for yourself to shine that light and have it be what you do and who you are, rather than being a vessel for other people's endeavors. I don't know how else to say it. I think that's pretty clear though. Now, let's get into some of these other cards. So this axis across the center of the reading here, this is kind of like the physical earthly axis, and this is kind of more the spirit axis, right? Now, across the reading here, you have Strength in reversed and the Child of Crystals here, with the Empress at the center of the reading. Now, I feel that the Strength card here in this position in reverse, I think this is an indicator that it is really like you are aware that it's time to create much more clear boundaries. The Strength card has a lot to do with boundaries. It has a lot to do with, you know, as I was saying in the previous reading, there is an element here of like you needing to embody a specific energy, both vocally and just in your physical and energetic body. That it's just a bit more no. You know, come on, like people need to understand that you're not their person to kind of go to all the time for everything they need. But I think there's also something here about you learning to become a little bit more aware about how much you've enabled people by being a pleaser all the time. You've enabled people to depend on you, and you need to address that as well, because there's definitely, that's part of what needs to be purified here. It's like I was saying with the star card there, it's like you embodying a specific energy and not going back to old habits, and actually anchoring in a new energy that is clearly more defined and more there's a discipline in that, right? And it's also a kind of fierceness. That's what the strength also brings, is a kind of fierce compassion where you learn how to be more clarified in your energy field in a way that doesn't let people take advantage of you, that doesn't let people manipulate you for their own end. But it's up to you to also see that you play a part in that too. You definitely play a part in that too, and it's up to you to kind of be more emboldened in your own authority. You have the Emperor in reverse here with the Sage of Worlds. This is saying to me that you are aware that you are your own authority, and that you are the seat of your power is you, but that you've been giving energy away to people to kind of get power from them, or to get love or encouragement, or to be seen by people in a certain way, and that's been diminishing your power actually, instead of building it up as you had hoped. I hope this is making sense. But seeing the Emperor here in reverse with the Sage of Worlds, it does say to me that I think you know that you need to start to learn how to be more clear in your energy and stop facilitating people being able to kind of utilize your energy in ways that you don't want them to use it, but quietly you do want them to use it because you've let them, right? There needs to be an understanding about how that specific energy of exchange has been facilitated by you, and there's no reason to pretend or to like try to play victim of a situation. You have allowed it to happen. You have allowed it to happen. And now you need to understand that if you want to prioritize your wellness, your happiness, and your sense of wholeness, that's what the Empress is saying. Like this is a time where you understand that your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is up to you. And it's about being empowered, right? You've got the Empress and the Emperor here. Both of these characters are very empowered in themselves. But you have to acknowledge that power within you and start to learn how to break the chain, or break the cycle of that kind of fake reciprocity, or that like you give in order to get something, and those other people get. You also get. You get something from that, but it's not necessarily what you want. It's not you're trying to get love out of it, but actually what you're getting is dependency and attachment. It's not helping you. It's not serving your health or well-being at all. And it's also not empowering anyone. It's actually disempowering everyone. So what else is here? You have the Hangman in reverse with commencement. Interesting pairing. This is saying to me that the commencement is clear. Like that's saying that you know that there's a new beginning here waiting for you. And it's another 4. And another 4 saying that like there is like a new establishment that is waiting to be grounded in, up to you to start that. But with the Hangman here in reverse, I feel that there is this element here of you resisting this. I think you're resisting a little bit, and I feel that's why this Tower card is showing up in your reading. Because if you continue to resist the energy flowing in a way that is attempting to heal and purify your patterns, your old patterns, then life will take a turn on your behalf in order to create that alignment. So the message for you here is don't resist, stop holding back, stop waiting for the right moment for something to change. No better time than now. So just work with the energy that you're receiving and allow a shift to happen, a catalyzation to happen, like some kind of stimulation of movement of energy in order to kind of break free of this very old cycle. Now, what else is here? These upper cards here, this is the position of your hopes and fears. You have Death with the Man of Crystals. Both upright. Very interesting. I feel that this is clear, and I mean the Death card very clearly in this position is saying that you want this transformation, you want to shift, you want to transmute and alchemize your situation into something much more whole and clear and better aligned for you. And I think that's what the Man of Crystals here as well, saying that there is an element here of like wanting to clarify your mind, your body, and your emotions, really to kind of put to rest old ways of being that are actually have long outdated the current space that you've been embodying. But there's this kind of just habitual nature or addictive nature to this kind of pattern of attachment and this kind of like need, want. So yeah, just I'm going to repeat again, but just work with the energies that are available to you to actually make this transition. Dig deep. You'll find that you're holding back, but that's that holding back that's actually harder for you than actually stepping into this new thing. It's the resistance that's difficult. Seek to understand your resistance and just put that aside so that you can usher in this new energy that wants to kind of break down old patterns, old conditions. And then finally in this outcome position you have the Magician upright, which I love to see. I'm very happy to see that. With the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Worlds in this deck, it's called Harvest. So I feel that this is describing the energy that's available to you once you step into this energy of, like the 9 of Worlds for me is very similar to the Empress in a way, in a different manifestation, but it's a similar energy for sure, like an embodied person whose self-confidence allows for their wellness and their creativity and their essence to be a priority, and that in itself generates kind of healing energy for the people around them. That's the thing about all this, right? Like you think that by you helping other people they will feel good and they will love and respect you, but actually you're enabling them and you're allowing yourself to be tapped in a way that is kind of diminishing your energy. But when you come into your power and prioritize yourself, your goals, your visions, your wellness, all these things, that actually has such a healing force for the people around you that they get so much more out of that than when you just help keep them happy by whatever it is they need from you. You being empowered and taking a stand for your own life, for your time, for your magic, right? You break this cycle of dependency, which allows everybody to rise up into their highest good. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Child of Cups, Hierophant, Sage of Wands, and the Devil, reversed. I feel that there is, like, again, you have the Sage of Worlds here with the Emperor. There's also this Woman of Wands here, the Hierophant. I feel like all these cards, also the Empress, all these cards are speaking about a sort of, the Hierophant is for me like a commitment, right? Like traditionally in the tarot, the Hierophant is talking about sort of spiritual authority. This character is, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, is the Pope. So it's someone that is a kind of an authority or holds a specific frequency that can like connect others and facilitate for others. But it's more, I think it's more in general terms here. This is more of it's more speaking to your commitment to your own spiritual journey and how you can, shift into this kind of newer vibration where there is it's just like a level up, a kind of embodiment. Like it's not dabbling anymore. This is much more of a serious kind of energy of like really committed to what it is that you're here to do, to your own personal unfolding, development, growth, a rising up of your frequency, of your energy body to kind of like facilitate more light. And yeah, I think what you have been doing, you feel like that has been like a very integral kind of actions, But I think it's clear, the messages that have come through have been very clear about how it's actually not the highest version, It's not the highest version. It's uncomfortable to step out and be like independent and fierce in your own way, in your own light, in being the person that is your birthright, especially when other people seem to want to diminish your light by however means, right? But as I said, you have been facilitating people's enabling, and you've been enabling people and facilitating a dependency. And that's what actually needs to be, that's the cycle that needs to be broken here. Sage of Wands in reverse and Devil's Play, that's actually exactly what I just said. The Devil's Play is speaking about attachments and addictions and enabling behavior, unhealthy kinds of practices, whether that's physical, mental, or emotional dependencies, addictions, abuse, whatever. It's just an unhealthy kind of attachment. Okay, and the Sage of Wands here, it's also in reverse, but I do feel like it's another energy here that's kind of urging you and guiding you towards that kind of rising up to the mastery that's within you, and seek to overcome whatever resistance you have to kind of really stepping into a type of power that is big and bold. I think you may have been afraid for some time of just really being brazenly yourself, and that's what some of this is. Like there's a personal agenda to diminish the self. But this Hangman in reverse is kind of like a key card in this reading, where it's saying that it's your own resistance that's making this difficult. It doesn't have to be. You can just simply walk into the next part of your life with everything being different. But there is something important here about, like, things need to be communicated in a certain way, whether or not it's a verbal communication, or whether it's simply by your actions and you embodying your energy in a different way that makes people understand that this is different now. Things are different. Things are different now. And I'll take this last card here too. This is the Nine of Cups upright. Love it. Happy to see this. I'm really happy to see these two nines upright along with the Empress upright. These are all cards saying to me that there is this element here of you really stepping into self-love, into stepping into, like, embodying your wellness in a specific way, where you're allowing yourself to channel energy in a specific way, where you are the priority, where you are nurturing yourself first, and then others will be nurtured as a result of it. You can't underestimate the power of being really self-confident and really self-loving, and realize how much that actually heals and nurtures others too. We think that by helping others we're helping them, but oftentimes that helping others is disempowering them and enabling them to kind of be dependent. Whereas when you kind of have that, and that's sort of some of what the Strength card brings here too. Like this, the Strength card for me is a really powerful connection to Durga from the Hindu pantheon, and she brings that wrathful compassion, you know, where it's like that tough love moment where you say no to someone because you actually care about them, and saying no to them is actually hard, but it's the best thing for them. Clarifying boundaries. Alright, Capricorn, I feel that that's it for your reading. I hope you found that helpful. It's a very energetic reading for me. I really enjoyed giving that. Do watch it again. There was a lot of information there, and also review it at the end of the month to kind of just check over to see if there's anything else there that will help you as the month unfolds and events unfold. You might find different parts of the reading stand out to you and will provide insight that will be helpful along the way. So thank you so much for your subscription. It means a lot to have you here. It's really an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope to see you in next month's reading. Do hit the bell button if you want to get notified for when new readings get uploaded, so you don't miss anything. Yeah, that's your reading. Thank you so much, Capricorn. See you next month.